Episode 235, Tank Slappin Podcast. I don't know what we call these anymore, man. They used to be rewind episodes, but I don't know if that's still the official term. But Daytona, we are talking Daytona Bike Week. Other side of the computer on me here is my boy Scotty Taylor. What's good, man?
What's good, Cory, man? Good to see you once again. Had a blast down there at Bike Weeks. First time I've gotten to go back down to Daytona since 2023, so it hasn't been that long, but it feels like it's been forever, man. Woo, what a time.
But ain't nothing like Bike Week, buddy. I've said it for years. Bike Week's the reason I have a house in Florida now, and I come here so often. I love Florida. There's everything about it I truly love. And Bike Week, I look at it differently now because I do live here. I can't wait till it's kind of over so my life can get back to normal. But I love it because I get to see my family, my friends, the race community. And then this year I got to promote a race at Daytona International Speedway, which is kind of crazy. It's kind of surreal. So, full circle moment, Bike Week, it came and it left like tornado, dude. It's gone. And season's well underway. We got a lot of questions answered. And there's probably more questions than we've had questions answered, Scotty. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, dude, a lot of storylines coming out of Daytona. Like we wait for a long time for the season to start. It feels like it takes forever, and then like boom, here we are. We're in the thick of it. A lot of news breaks right before the season, and then we're off and running. And man, what a wild couple of nights down there at the short track. Man, this was for me. You may have a different opinion, having a lot of things going on in your side of things, but this was probably my favorite trip to Daytona of my entire life. It was so cool actually being able to camp out at the track and be just for lack of a better term, in the shit the whole weekend. So, but dude, I want to start, if you don't mind. Let's just go chronological. Before we get into AFT stuff, I want to talk about, you mentioned promoting a race at Daytona, kicking off this new showcase event format that you've got going on. Big moment for you, like you said, right there at the World Center of Racing, getting to promote a race and really kick off this new endeavor.
Yeah, it was exciting. It was a lot different for me. Like usually I steer my own ship. Like whether it's, a successful voyage or I go into an iceberg, at least I'm the guy steering the ship. So with this deal, I'm partnering with American Flat Track and a lot of things have to go through them, like the planning, and it's a lot different. There's a lot of pros and cons to it, I'll say. It was a really good successful event in terms of I think we had 230 entries, which is I think pretty good for Daytona. I think that number is going to take some time to go back up. We've had some subpar Daytona bike weeks, I feel like, for amateur racing in the last few years, and I think it's going to take a little bit of time to get those numbers back up. But yeah, solid entry numbers at Daytona. I don't really chase entry numbers anymore, dude, to be honest. Like, if I wanted more entries, I could just add more classes and I could just do classes that I know will bring in big entries. But there's a rhyme or reason for why we do things the way we do them. And yeah, I mean, successful event. We got done right before dark time. Everybody got 2 rounds of qualifying per class they signed up for, 10 lap main events, most of them. Right there at the end, I cut a couple laps for the vintage guys, I think it was. But yeah, and finished with the first ever Road to AFT class, which took the top 12 into the American Flat Track event the next day. So yeah, I mean, I can't complain with the event as far as like the way our team handled things and went about it and efficiency. We were spot on. The live streaming, my crew did amazing. And there was some challenges with Daytona and just doing it with American Flat Track. A lot of people just sneaking into Daytona, not wanting to get wristbands, and that was challenging as a promoter, just to know I'm losing so much on that. But I do appreciate all the AFT people that did come out and support us and bought wristbands and paid to come and support the showcase event. I mean, everybody wants amateur racing to grow, but like $20-$25 for a gate pass, like you guys gotta support. Whether it's me or other promoters, you have to support the promoters. Like we're not we're not making a lot of money doing these events, and it's gotta make sense to do. So I was a little discouraged, I will say, with that, but the event itself. I don't know. Maybe I'm biased, but I felt like it went over very, very well.
So I guess I need to blame you for why I couldn't get back into the track the next day because of this people sneaking in the day before. Is that what it was? It took me an hour, over an hour to get back into the pits when I had a pit pass. They just wouldn't give me a wristband for AFT day. But no, that's not on you. That's just a fiasco I have with Daytona security every time I go down there. But like you said, $25 pit pass for the event for what you guys put on is a phenomenal value. And I don't want to, I guess I'm going to get a little all over the place here, a little bipolar when it comes to ticket costs, because this was actually something that kind of just stood out to me as a little odd, and or not odd, but they're going a different direction on the American Flat Track side with the pit access this year. It's now not every GA ticket is a pit pass like it was last year, which I'm sure presented some struggles for them in the pits with just a lot of fans going back and forth. It might have gotten overcrowded at times, but you're back to having to add that upgrade, and the upgrade's $40. So for after fees to get into the American Flat Track race, it was $97 for one day. And being in the sprint car world as well, you could have gotten a 2-day pit pass with GA stuff for the World of Outlaws for $95. And I think that's really tricky. And I hope that doesn't drive people away. Now the GA pass, just your regular ticket to AFT, is very on par with the rest of motorsports, like across the globe. So if you don't want that pit access, you're still getting a normal price. So that shouldn't, I don't want that to deter people, but it was something that I thought was interesting from a pit standpoint throughout the weekend. And then, like, I guess maybe the reason that irked me a little bit is because I effectively got locked out of the camper for over an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I did hear, like, I don't work, again, I got to keep reminding people I don't work for American Flat Track. They're a partner, and I promote races the day before their events, and they have helped me with like the air fence and um, little things like that. I mean, some big things. That's a huge thing. I don't want to undersell what they're doing to help us put these races on. But I don't work for American Flat Track. There are still a lot of things that I would do differently. I think that is one of them. I didn't know that was that expensive. I think having pit access is important, but also maybe they don't want a lot of people in the pits, so maybe that's a way to kind of control like the numbers a little bit, because it can get hectic maybe. And I don't know what, like, World of Outlaws is a whole different entity than like NASCAR. And I know NASCAR just trying to get these showcase races off the ground. It's been a lot of insurance hurdles and liability stuff that it just seems like with this stuff, it's they just don't overlook anything. So yeah, yeah, that is interesting.
So this is the insurance thing. That's something I never even factored in with this particular partnership that you have, or working within like the confines of working with AFT and some of the other things that get brought up and are things you need to make sure you have your I's dotted, T's crossed. I figured it was they were just trying to limit pit access for a certain amount of people. Maybe it got too hectic. I feel like a $20 addition, maybe it's 55 plus fees or whatever for pit access for a fan feels more reasonable.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe we're just all spoiled because of the level of access we get at your events. So that's what it is. We're just all spoiled.
Yeah, I'm not privy to that information on why the change was made, but yeah, I mean, like I said, overall our event was good. I do need to figure something out there a little bit with like the AFT hard cards don't work for our event, guys. Like, if we didn't have an event, you wouldn't be able to come in early anyway. So like, got to figure some stuff out there. Hopefully we can figure some of that stuff out. But overall, I think we put together a good event for the riders. The track was what it was. It's Daytona. It was very, very hard to pass on. A lot of that is the shape, and again, I go back to the shape of the track and the flatness of it. Like, non-banked racetracks, the whole track could have been a groove, and it still would have been hard to pass. Like, you're putting around the bottom. Now, to be honest, there were a lot of people making mistakes. So because the groove was so technical, and if you got off the groove, you were losing a lot of time. It was very technical. You had to stay on the track. And I wanted the track to, after seeing it last year and racing on it, I wanted it to be smooth. So I worked with Morgan, the guy that came in and prepped our track, and I felt like I nailed what I wanted. But yeah, it's just Daytona's Daytona. I mean, you got to expect kind of the worst, and you just go out and ride the place. It's crazy the amount of like young kids that complain about track prep, like 10-year-old kids. They're like, it's too dry or too wet. It's literally one or the other. It's either it's too wet or it's too dry. And all the kids, even at Ocala, I had a lot of the kids were complaining because the first day it was a little rough, right? It rained. It was a little rough. and all the kids are coming up to Cruz and like, it's rough, isn't it? And Cruz is just like, I don't know, because I don't. If the track's not good, I don't tell him. Like I don't. I'm not. I don't need to be in his ear. Like he's got to go out and ride and like whatever. Like I don't want him to be like I was growing up. Like the track's rough, and I get in my own head. For him, like I just want him to go out and ride whatever track he's given. So I just think a lot of these young kids, they just need to ride these damn tracks and figure it out. It's the same track for everybody. I mean, there was pro sport kids who were struggling and not getting good starts and blaming the track. I mean, you control your own destiny at our races. Like qualify good, get a good start, and you're gonna win. It's that simple. If you don't, it's not like we random draw the heat races. You earn your spot, you qualify, go do your job.
Did
Yeah.
you get any blowback for doing the four rider rows this time? This was the first time you've done that at one of your
Mhm.
events, right?
Yeah, no, I didn't publicly. I mean, nobody complained to me about it, so it is what it is. Again, I mean, it's the same for everybody. Go figure it out. So I actually thought the riders did very, very well with the AFT light too. There weren't that many jumps, man. Like maybe a couple. I
Early
thought they,
on, and then people
yeah,
got used to it. Yeah.
I think they were smoking their clutches. They were putting their bikes. I had to tell Cruz, "Hey, don't put your bike in gear until the first yellow comes on." They're used to putting it in gear when the guy walks off the track, and that delay was a challenge for some of especially the younger kids. Being patient, waiting, and learning that is important, man. So I had to tell Cruz, "Yo, you're gonna smoke the clutch, dude, and I don't have time to change it for you." So let's uh, let's try not to do that. But no, I mean it was. I like that. It's better in the first corner too. It just the hardcore fans they hate the rows of four, and I think it's awesome. I think it puts a lot more emphasis on qualifying. It puts a lot more emphasis on your heat race, and it's just I think it's just safer. I think it really spreads those guys out going into turn one. So I've always been a fan of that.
Yeah, I was skeptical about it at first until I saw it in action, and there were, yeah, I mean, it's just kind of, yeah, let it happen. Like, I mean, I was kind of glad to see you do it because it is comparable to what, like, it's mirroring what American Flat Track is doing on their series, and the whole point of these showcase events is to try to get people ready to pave their own road to AFT. So you need to be ready for stuff like that, lights, like the starting lights, the lineups, how you're going about things. Like it needs to be as comparable as possible. So that was kind of a neat addition. The big dogs that have been superstars at your events definitely rose to the top. The top kids in the classes still they figured it out, and part of me thinks that a lot of the flat track guys need to be thankful that Sam Drain likes road racing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Although
Again,
Bidsay got him, Bidsay did get him on Wednesday.
yeah, he kind of smoked them in that main too. Like he rode very good, very well. He's a good, really good rider on those types of tracks. But yeah, I mean the usual kids did well. I mean Nickens. I will say Lucy looked really good at Ocala. I was expecting a little bit more out of Lucy probably and Jackson, and Jaden these last couple of races has really taken a step up and just rides with a purpose. Like he really wants to win, really wants to be there, and not that those kids don't. They're all amazing riders, but Jaden has really kind of how Jackson did last year. Jaden's really stepped up his program, whatever they're doing. It's really stepped up, and I don't think it is. I don't think it is him riding the big bike. Like I don't. I think there's pros and cons to that. I don't think he's better on the 85 because he rides the 250. I think he's better just because he's just better. I don't think riding the big bike really helps or hurts too much. I mean, there's pros and cons to it. I think so. Because I think some kids it hurts to go up on a bigger bike. It hurts you on the small bike. Just depends who you are and what your program looks like. But I've been telling Cruz, I'm like, hey man, go to the fence and watch Jaden. Just watch how aggressive he is. That's kind of what I've been saying. Like he's real aggressive and he's been making some dicey moves and just figuring it out, making it happen. So him and Sam Drain, I thought Jake Page was going to win one or two of those. He was on pole, I think, for one or two of them in the mains, but he kind of shit the bed and had terrible main events. I know for two of the mains, the boys put a new tire on and they didn't check the air pressure, and he had like 60 pounds of air, and they were kind of struggling with a couple things here and there, but he did well. I'm trying to think who even won. Cruz won the 50 mini open. There weren't a lot of kids in those classes. Had a really good race in the 65. Every time he'd get a gap, he was so fast in that main event, but every lap he'd hit a lapper. And the way the track was with the groove, he'd hit a lapper and he would lose that gap. Like Reef would catch back up a ton. Then he'd get away and he had the speed to create a gap. Then every lapper he hit was in the middle of the corner. It was like the worst timing. And hats off to Reef for figuring a way out to win that race, not being the fastest kid. I mean, he was 4 or 5 tenths off of Cruz's best time, and to get that done is impressive. Like
He's
to sit
patient.
there, be patient, wait, and he's older than Cruz, and he's developing really good racecraft, Reef Pendergrass. So it was good for Cruz. I'm glad that happened in a way because he needs to learn. He did in the heat race too. Like he knows better. So he was sad. I'm like, dude, you know better. Like that was poor racecraft. So um, yeah, so that was a really good race, Scotty, and there was a lot of good races throughout the day there. It was good.
Yeah, it was a fun time. Love your events. Love the getting to meet all these families that come over from different countries. Like finally got to talk to Matt Fife and got to talk to Benny Page, and again got to meet Sam for the first time. Like just talking to the Australian kids and like all our friends from Dead Good Race team that came over from the
Yeah.
UK to race. Never made it over to like the Biolek pit and to talk to them during the AFT races. But man, it's just so cool to get to meet these families and hear their stories and just hear their passion for the sport of racing and how excited they are to be at a place like Daytona.
Yeah, and I just want to send a reminder to all the families, like make sure you sign up and you get your contingency for those events if you're on those 5 brands, the Austrian brands, Honda and Yamaha. Make sure you sign up, get your contingency. Pre-entry is open for a few more days until Sonoy. Sonoy is right. It's not this coming weekend, but it's the next weekend. So go get pre-entered for Sonoy, and then our West Coast people that support and they're coming out to us, get signed up for Ventura and Chico. The pre-entries on that will close before you know it as well. So appreciate everybody, my staff that got the job done and did a great job. Katie, my mom, Keely, Shayna, of course. Shayna does so much for us. My wife Amber, Dylan, Ryan, KK for doing the signage and everything they did, keeping the flow of the racing going. Kyle Snyder, my referee, did a much better job this time as far as like the jump starts go. Ryan Connolly, my starter, Dale. Dale let me down a little bit. He left my tent up the next day, and it got mowed over by a trailer. So I got to buy a new a tent leg. So Dale probably owes me a beer on that one, but does a really good job. Debbie is my superhero out the front gate. She was stressed because everybody was blowing by her, not wanting to pay, and it was tough for my staff. Ian Riley, Caitlin from Hallie Doing Roger That Racing, their whole family, just huge asset to our events. And my buddy Mike Caldell, I could not do it without that guy. I'm trying to get all these guys out to California. It's such a huge expense to go out there. And I'm like, guys, like, what do we need to do to get you out to California? Because I need my crew. I need my crew to keep this going. So,
You got to make friends with somebody that's got a private jet.
yeah, I'm in the wrong friend group. My buddies do not have private jets, so it's, yeah, I could throw them all in my rig on the way out. Just put 20 of them in there. Just going to
Party
Cali.
bus.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. So one down, I guess 6 more to go. I think, right? 6. Yeah, there's 6.
Sonoy,
I'm
Ventura.
playing for 6.
Yeah, 6.
There's
Yeah,
a
6 more.
lot of things I need to figure out with the ones that are later in the year. The Budds Creek one with everything they have going on. That is to say that's challenging is an understatement. There's a lot going on there. We got to figure out and just sort everything. So the YouTube channel that these are on, subscribe because we will have main events from Daytona on this channel here in the very near future. And shout out to you, dude, for everything you do. The Cycle News article was awesome. I love that you did that. I want to give a shout out to Aaron from Madcap Images for supplying the photos, and all my other photographers that supply photos and help us out. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I think I dotted my I's and crossed my T's on all this, right? Did I think everybody?
Somebody will let you know in the comments.
I know I'm missing somebody, but yeah, that's a good start of the year for our events. So
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure this has to feel a lot better than the exhausting and sort of emotional roller coaster that Throwdown was. So I hope that you feel very, very rewarded and that your team feels very rewarded for the events that you're able to put on, because like so many people keep coming back. You get the best riders in the world, I feel like, that come to your events. So hats off to you for what you're able to put out there and create for the sport of flat track to help grow it. Let's put a bow on that little Christmas present, the opening act of the weekend. I think I said in the article, every good show needs a solid opening act, and you guys knocked it out of the park before we set up Act 2 and 3 with American Flat Track there in Daytona. And man, I remember talking to you about how I wanted qualifying to be sort of like one at a time, a couple at a time. And boy, that track went through so many changes during the day, during qualifying sessions, that the later you went out, especially for the singles guys, it was like It's a gift almost.
Yeah, I think again, because they would water it and it would get kind of greasy for the first group, and it would consistently get better for the other groups. And man, I really think I hate to say it, they kind of screwed some of those guys with the way they did that. I really think they should have inverted the groups. Like we've done that since I was a rookie pro. I mean, I just don't. I'm not sure why we dropped the ball there, not inverting the groups. It's not terribly hard to do. They
I
did
don't
get it.
remember the last time they did it. Did they do it last year or year before?
They
I know
haven't,
it has to
bro.
have been recent,
I don't
but
know. They haven't been doing it. We do it at Winter Throwdown for the 1v1. We invert the groups and we give the guys group one the best track there at the end because we had problems with it in before and you just learn from it. But when I was a rookie pro, we would invert groups all the time at Daytona, Springfield Short Track, tracks like that. We would invert quite a bit. So not sure why that wasn't looked at. I think the last day though they did do something right where they didn't prep it between the races, and it gave the top guys a more fair shot to get into the get a proper starting spot for their heat race. I mean, it made it exciting. Some of the random guys that were in the top eight, So, but yeah, I think the first day I actually went into the booth with Scotty. They needed an audible because Colby he was on the struggle bus front seat and didn't have a voice, so I went into the booth, which was crazy because I've never been in the booth. I've never been asked to come in before. Probably because they knew I'd curse too much in the booth. So I tried my hardest not to say any bad words. I know it offends people, at least on this podcast. I have people that it just really bothers.
well, I think
Yeah,
so far I'm at 1 and you're at 0 right now. So I don't know. Maybe there's a changing of the guard. Did they clean you up in the production studio? Have we
it's
switched
getting better,
personalities a little bit?
buddy.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
My buddy Jason Andrews, he's the producer now, and they didn't give me any like guidelines, but I just tried to, it's a kid show. I was trying to, but no. Anyway, being up in the booth, I noticed like as soon as I sat down, I'm like, dude, the track's dry. It was very dry and it was hard to see, and I yeah, it was definitely challenging in the qualifying sessions. But dude, it's Daytona during the day. Like some people were complaining about our race during the day. I'm like, dude, it's a day race. If we left this track the way it is and we just watered it a bunch before the sun went down, the track that I gave the amateurs, it would have been awesome. We just didn't have the luxury of doing that. But I will say that the track came around and it was really good. At least to start the heat races, like those two single heat races, track was awesome. It was fun to watch, and I don't think the track was bad. I mean, it was way better than last year. The track was terrible last year, and that I don't know if it was lack of planning or what they missed out on last year, but felt like this year, I had a big say in what they did for the amateurs. Like I gave Morgan instructions, and he killed it. He did a great job. So yeah, I have no complaints on the track. It was a little dry in qualifying on day one, but that's Daytona. I wish they would have inverted those groups, but otherwise, yeah, I mean, it was good.
yeah, it was dry. It was like warm and windy, and I feel like last year didn't it rain a lot the day before the national too?
It was yeah, because yeah, the amateur race got rained out. So,
Yeah.
um, yeah,
That might have played a little bit of a factor as well. But dude, yeah, fun times, man. I'm so glad we got to be out there and witness it in person. The racing, when you see all the best guys together and just how cutthroat it can be out there, man, it's something to witness up close and personal. And Daytona, I mean, you are with the way that place is set up and seating wise, you're on top of the action like at all times, and it's really really neat that you can get so close to everything that's going on there and really feel like you're in the race yourself at times. Cool crowds, like to see the support there. Man, what do you want to do? You want to go twins first, singles first? How we want to attack this? Do we want to just go down the list of
whatever you got,
storylines?
buddy. You're the lead, and I'll just chug along and answer questions and provide some input. Just for reference, I didn't sit down and watch everything. I did sit down the second night and I had a couple beers with Robbie Bobby and Brandon Posh. We were just like under the tent, just kind of, yeah, it was cool to be a fan. Rob's like, this is actually nice. I don't know
Dude,
what he
it's
was
so
doing.
nice.
Yeah, I don't know what Rob was doing. He probably should have. I think he's a crew chief, so I don't know what's going on there. But I had fun just being a fan, just under the tent and watching. But the first day I was a little more sporadic with everything, but a lot happened for sure.
Dude, yeah, and just real quick, I think I have a plan of attack, but I want to say like this is where like I just when you get to be a fan again and like kind of step away from like trying to be like a creator or something or whatever I do, I guess. When I get to just sit back and be a fan, like we spent the first night, I was actually in turn for with your mom, Keely, Amber, Shane, and Caitlin with HDRT, and just getting to be a race fan. And it's so, God, this community is awesome. The racing is incredible. All weekend, we're hanging out with the Nickens family, with you guys, with the Turner camp, with Nick Henderson and all them. Like this community and just getting to be a race fan and getting to be part of this family is easily like I would count it as probably the second biggest blessing in my life, other than having my mom and dad as my mom and dad. It's a beautiful thing to be part of, and so exciting to be part of the racing. And man, we get to see history made because have you ever heard of this guy with this number, this Kopp kid?
Kody Kopp. I'm gonna call him Cody Deegan after the weekend, dude. He had a chip on his shoulder.
How dangerous is that?
Uh,
Cody with a chip on his shoulder.
yeah, and I don't. So first off, I'm not surprised he won one of them.
No.
I guess I'm surprised he won both. Like that's tough to do at Daytona, but Cody's great at Daytona. He's on, a good bike. He's not young. Like he's a rookie in the twins class, but he's been a three-time champ. Um, and I don't know where the chip came from. I don't know if him and Dallas have a rivalry that I didn't know about. He seemed to kind of direct the chip more so toward Dallas, it seemed like, but it was ricocheting everywhere, kind of. And I know some of the other Twins guys are probably a little like they're like, I don't know where'd it come from. But I think he's just young and he was fired up, and yeah, I mean he was amazing. Even he had a couple moments like that he was struggling on day two and pulled it back together and figured it out. So, um, I didn't think he'd be a championship contender this year. I think, I don't think I expected that, but after where he was, after how he looked in Daytona, like you got to think he'll be good at most of these tracks. Obviously, there's going to be some question marks on the miles because on that bike last year, the bike wasn't a great mile bike. So maybe they'll have some pieces figured out there. And, um, I think he's trying to underplay too that he won't be good at other tracks. I think I heard him say, or I saw a post where he said, we were good in Daytona, but it's just Daytona, right? Like, um, yeah, he let everybody know that he's gonna be there and be competitive. So I went over and gave him a hug and told him he did great. I'm proud of him. I've known Cody a long time. I hope he stays true to his personality on and off the track, like the chippiness. I think it's good to give when you need to, but he's such a nice kid, and yeah, that was a little. It caught me off guard, some of the chippiness. But hey, if you can back it
You know
up,
what?
nothing you can say about it. So
Back it up, build a rivalry, put some eyeballs on the sport. I mean, if he wants to be if he can be like feisty like that, and we know that he can back it up. Like, what was it? Wasn't it that the Michael Jordan or the Chicago Bulls documentary where MJ would just like find things to get like mad about just because it would make him better?
yeah,
Maybe Cody's taking a bit of that to his mentality in racing, just finding something to sort of fuel the fire a little bit and get him even more fired up. But I mean, he's raced at Daytona, I think 8 times, 6 on a single, 2 on a twin. He's won 7 of those. So
yeah,
I mean, you could make an argument that Daytona is his best track, and but he's on a single. He's won at almost all of these other places as well.
yeah.
So
I mean, he's
we'll
still
see how
gonna
it
be. He's
carries
gonna
over.
be good everywhere. I mean, Dallas didn't look bad. Dallas looked great. He just came up short, really. He's got a thing where he kind of starts off slow in the main events for some reason, and then he starts to figure it out and move forward. The main event the first night, I don't think Cody wouldn't have won that race regardless. Like even though it was a red flag stoppage, which I don't like that. I think we have to finish these races on a checkered. Um, Yeah, that
It's
was
a
weird. I
tricky,
didn't know that
yeah.
was a rule. I still think he would have won for sure. But I think you finish that race. Like you got to do a green or a green white checkered or whatever. So that was kind of weird. I think it would have got chaotic there. I think second through seventh would have been different. or second through 10th even, it would have been probably a lot different. It made the singles main really exciting. The second night, which we'll go over, that was crazy. But yeah, Dallas looked good. He's just, yeah, standard podium. He's just does what he does. Wiles was podium the first day, which I was surprised at a little bit. Not because he's not a good rider, but he was kind of like down in the time charts all day long, and it wasn't a rough and tumble Daytona like we had last year, which I expect Henry to be very good on those kind of tracks. But yeah, I mean, to get a third on, it was a grooving up. That's not something typically Henry crushes. He's always good, but yeah, get a podium. I'm trying to think who was third. Davis Fisher looked really good day two. I was very impressed with Davis. Trent Lowe had some bad luck. Trent looks about as good as I thought he would. If he didn't have an issue, he would have got third and fourth leaving Daytona. And then two guys that I think were off Scotty, whether it was bikes or whatever, are the old dogs, which is crazy to say, but Briar and B Rob, they just were way off. Briar, that's the worst I've seen him look on a bike, maybe ever. He looked very uncomfortable. And leading up to the race, testing and on the 450 and at the moto track was some of the best I've seen from him. So yeah, it was definitely something that the team they're gonna have to figure out with those bikes. He just looked very uncomfortable. And B Rob too. He had some bad luck. I think the bike broke the one day, and yeah, I know both of them, the former Daytona winners, whether it's twins or singles, they expected to do better. So
Yeah, if you look at Briar's results on the twin at Daytona, though, they haven't been stellar. He's got a few runner-up spots, but he's also got a couple of sevenths, sixth, fourth. He's got a few podiums. He's never won on a twin there, and he's had some unfortunate results. Night one, he and B-Rob both had trouble. Brandon broke in the heat race, and then Briar had that crash in the main event, which put them both behind the eight ball. Maybe you can speak to this, but watching him, it looked like they were having trouble with Briar with the bike getting basically turned and off the corner. It looked like he had almost no drive coming off the corner.
yeah, and I know they found something after the race that they didn't know about. They were something pretty big that they were shocked on. So I'm hoping. Well, I mean, that'll change a lot. Like it was a pretty big, like, wow, we didn't know that was a thing. So, but watching him day two, I mean, he always is a rider who moves forward. Like everywhere he goes, he's always moving forward. He's always attacking. And dude, he was just kind of riding around the groove day two, not making up any time. He just didn't have any speed. I mean, usually he'll make some big mistakes because he's pushing, but he didn't have speed. And that's the first time I've seen that, like in a long time, where the speed just wasn't there. And it's a new team, new bikes. They're trying to get stuff sorted. I know they didn't have a lot of testing ahead of time. But one thing about Briar, one thing about Brian Bigelow is they have a champion mindset. Like they're going to work hard and figure it out. And if there's one guy you want to put on a bike to get it done, it's Briar. I mean, he's still in the prime of his career, and he's still a guy that can go out there. I mean, he won eight races last year, so nothing has changed from that mindset or his ability. And same with Brandon. Like Brandon, leading up to Daytona, I thought B Rob, was a podium guy for sure. Like I thought both of them would have been on the podium. I would have lost a lot of money if I bet money on it. So I think they'll both figure it out. I think both of their teams, there's some things they need to work on to get them to where they need to be for sure.
Daytona's such a unique animal, and now we're going to these more traditional-ish car tracks for this next really big swing of the season. Briar sits right now. He's sitting on 23 total points, which from that seventh and a sixth, which would also like this is just a weird stat to me. Bear with me here. That same point total would be the equivalent of he went second and 14th. Well, his worst result last year was a 14th. So maybe he just got his bad luck out of the way early, and they'll just charge back through the rest of the year. Because I actually didn't when we did the podcast with Colby and Scotty D leading up to Daytona. I actually figured Briar probably wouldn't win the first three rounds, but then would go on a tear. And he could very well get right back in the championship fight once you get out to. I mean, he won Sonoy last year. He won both California rounds last year on a Harley. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for him to go on this crazy winning streak, and just like it's not out of the realm of possibility for Dallas or Kody to stay hot too. You talked about Dallas he got himself behind the eight ball a little bit. Was always having to come from behind. If he gets a whole shot, that could be pretty dangerous. But yeah, Dallas doing his Ryan Dungey thing where he just podiums you to death.
Yeah, I mean, he's an amazing rider. That's what top riders do. They figure it out. So yeah, I mean, Briar's pretty far back now, at least from Kody. But dude, I mean, if you win 2, 3 races, you're right back in the mix. And I think there's more players this year. I think Trent, B Rob, Kody, Dallas. There's not going to be your bad day can be like maybe a fifth or sixth.
Well, even
So
Davis, like with that KTM on the shorter tracks, I hope that thing can hold together on half miles and miles where it was driving him crazy last year. But I mean, Davis looked good. He looks
yeah,
sporty.
yeah, and guys, even maybe we see Bronson later in the year and he gets up in the top five, or you see guys like Wiles at these TTs that he maybe gets a podium. Yeah, you could see some of those guys come out and finish toward the front there. So we'll see. And the miles, you never know with the miles too. The miles, you have some of the guys you don't see up front all year. They go very well in the miles. So we'll see. Yeah, it was interesting. There's a lot of interesting things like Trent's bike blowing up and then catching on fire. All I saw was Trent running away from the bike. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? Like he's like pointing and running away, and then I see just flames coming out of it. So that was crazy. I don't know if that was in your notes, but that was pretty insane. And then
I'm just waiting for and I'm probably going to speak it into existence, the meme of somebody putting Trent's face on Ricky Bobby from that scene in Talladega Nights where he's running
yeah,
down the track. I'm on fire.
yeah. Do you have any of these other guys? Like I mean, the Aprilias were okay. It wasn't bad. They didn't like set the world on fire, but they did fine. I mean, it's a
Yeah,
new a new uh a new motorcycle.
it's kind of where I thought it would be with like just the again a brand new bike. Like Dalton's super talented, and having Mishler on that as well, they're going to get plenty of data back about that. I figured around 10th is where they were going to land at Daytona. Just you've got guys like
Yeah.
Wiles, who's familiar. Sammy had got some of the stuff with his Yamaha figured out. How about did you see the moment on day 2 where they were doing the restart and Sammy couldn't see over? I guess it was over Briar in the one main event, so he
I think it was
shifted up
B
right in front.
Rob. Yeah,
But
it was
Brandon was
B
behind
Rob.
him. B Rob was
Yeah,
behind
I
him.
saw a little bit of that. Like I was sitting in the stands and I kind of saw Sammy move over because he couldn't see. I mean, I think like you got to stay in your box, but I think maybe they could move the starting light up higher or put it on something that's higher so you can see. Like sometimes I've struggled to see it, and I don't blame Sammy for trying to do what he has to do. I also don't blame B Rob for like being annoyed like with it. Like, dude, you're not like because it's messing him up then. And I yeah, I mean, I whatever. I don't know. Like if I would have tried to do the same thing if I was both of them. I would have been annoyed or I would have tried to see the light. So, yeah.
Yeah, that was just a funny little incident that happened there in the second race. Um, yeah, not much more on the twins. Evan looked really good the first day on the Royal Enfield, qualified really well, kind of dropped back a little bit in the main event, and then some surprise. I was a little surprised that he and I think Chad and there's one other name that I'm missing off the top of my head didn't make it into the Triple Challenge races that night. I know Trent unfortunately had to use a provisional and then made the most of that, and we'll talk about people making the most provisionals as well in this when it comes to the singles class.
Yeah, I'm looking here now. I'm trying to see trying to bring up the LCQ in that challenge race because yeah, that was I remember watching, okay, here's the challenge. The Triple Challenge LCQ for the Twins. I remember watching the LCQ and I'm like, "Damn, that's pretty stacked for an LCQ." Like there were some pretty good guys that didn't get in. Yeah, Chad, you have Renshaw. National number 95, Evan Renshaw, new number for Evan. And then you got Cameron Smith and Morgan Mitchler and some pretty good guys that didn't get into that. I mean, racing's hard, right? We say on this podcast a lot, dude. It's and how about Logan McGrain winning the LCQ? Love to see that. Comes on the podcast out here winning LCQs. Yeah, I don't have much else. I mean, I guess we give Bruce Evans a shout out for that qualifying effort in that race one.
He's another one. He didn't make the main event day 1, got a top 10 day 2 with the Triple Challenge format. Brandon Price
Yeah.
missed out on the main event day 1. He got a top 10 overall and did
Yeah,
second
which
day.
is crazy. Brandon, like for Brandon, I think he podiumed there 2 years ago or something. He came out off the couch and podium. So, uh, yeah, Daytona's Daytona, man. I mean, yeah, like I think Bruce Evans, what he got third the first race, and then the last one he was
He like kind of was
ninth or
near the top
so.
and then near the bottom and then right back in the middle, like in
Yeah,
the 3 main events.
yeah. I mean, it's it's a very competitive twins class. Like some of these guys have so much experience. They've been out here for so long, and it's cool to see though. Like the twins class seems it's not. I wouldn't say it's like healthy, but it's pretty good. A lot of brands. I mean, looking here, Harley, Yamaha, KTM, Harley, Honda, Kawasaki, Harley, Yamaha, Aprilia, KTM, Suzuki, Yamaha, KTM, and then Suzuki. Get well to Dan Bromley. Are we gonna do we move? Let's move on from twins.
Yeah, we can move on from twins. I got feelings on adventure trackers that we'll talk about later.
Let's go. Are we going to
Dude,
go?
I guess we can do it now. I don't buy this, man. I like 6 riders, and Michael Hill and Olin Kistler entered late. I don't even know if Michael was planning on doing it until we were talking about how much it paid. I was pimping it out. Everybody I talked to, I was like, dude, get an adventure tracker bike. It pays $1,600 to win. I saw Max out at dinner one night and was telling the British guys to go like, schmooze with Triumphs out front in the midway at Daytona, try to get an adventure bike because they got this purse listed and want to dump money into it, and it's paying more than the singles class is. And then we get 6 riders. And I want to take nothing away from Luzak and from Will the Thrill. I don't want to take anything away from them. I just do not like this class. I understand the market in America and people wanting these bikes, and it is a budding market, but it is not a racing market. And even Bromley said in his heat race interview, I don't know why we're here.
Oh, really? I
And
didn't.
Bromley on the mic is pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't hear that. I don't know, man.
All right, Polk.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the first lap of that main event was absolute carnage. Everybody crashed, and that's where Bromley got hurt so bad there.
That
so
sucks.
I
That was a
hope
pretty
he
hard
can heal
crash.
up.
That was a hard
Bad.
crash. Yeah, when he crashed, I'm like, damn, that was a hard one. Yeah, it sucks to see. I hope he's a dad and just he doesn't need to be on the ground, dude. I mean, nobody needs to be on the ground, but that was a hard hit for him. So hope he heals up. Yeah, I don't like it, dude. I mean, I didn't like it from the start. And then some of the moments last year were kind of entertaining when you had Eslick and Posh and Janish and all those guys are out there, but instead of growing, it deflated even more, and it's just not entertaining. The racing, like they're putting around, and I don't know. Yeah, so there weren't any big
beer
names
break.
in it this
Step
year. I
away,
mean,
you grab a
Bromley,
cold one.
yeah, Bromley was out there, who's a big name, but I don't know. I mean, if like last year I said the big names gave it life, like the Janishes and the Eslicks and the Posh and Gauthier and Chad wrote it. Like there were Wiles wrote it. I mean, there were some big names. Like this year, yeah, it's just you had Bromley, like he's a singles champ. But otherwise, again, I'm not knocking the guys or the teams that put the effort in, but like, do we need to be doing this? Probably
I mean,
not.
if we're only going to get 6 riders, like, I mean,
Well, and they said the
where is
manufacturers
this?
would come in, and that's like always great. Like it's hopeful that they come in, and if that's if that's a manufacturer problem where they said they'll support it, and then they're not, it's AFT, they talk to them, and if they say they're going to support it, and then we come time to support it and field entries or help with bikes or whatever, and then it's just not becoming a thing. I mean, I think once a year it'd be okay. Like I think if we do it, at Sturgis TT or we do it one race a year, it's fine, but to give a championship out like a plate out last year and to do that maybe not
Well, they expanded it. Now it's like 6 or 7 rounds this year.
yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I like racing. Like I was entertained actually watching Will Harris like just fucking winning the race. I thought that was entertaining.
Somebody found the mic where they could cheer for Will on the broadcast, which was kind of fun. At least get that involvement.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
I do,
but this is pro racing, guys. Like, imagine if we had something like that at a Supercross. Uh, yeah, I mean, this has to be the top level, and it's across the board there. So, yeah,
I can't. I was like, I hate to be again. I guess I'm going to be bipolar on this episode because I'm going to be super high and then super low at the same time. But man, I was so glad I was there Thursday and didn't have to sit through that. Like, I'm cool with like supporting the pro sport kids. I just don't like adventure track.
that was good. That class was good. I thought the kids did very, very well. We'll move on from that. Like, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
But the pro sport class was everybody's been wanting an amateur 450 class, and now you have it, guys. And I actually saw people were like on Facebook bitching about the Adventure Trackers. Somebody sent me a screenshot and somebody said we need an amateur 450 class. I'm like, we have that, guys. Like it took me a lot of time to pull that off the ground, and yeah, I thought that was a nice little support class. So yeah,
It was good. I wish they were, and it just doesn't fit into the schedule, I guess. But I wish their heat race was part of the night show, and maybe they got like an extra qualifying session. But man, like
yeah,
it's like that was that. I love the way that it's structured, where you qualify into it from the night before, and it just I think it can add appeal to that night before event and get more, or hopefully it would get more spectators out there in the future, and maybe we'll see a little more down in Sonoy, but yeah, man, like it's cool. It's cool to have that. Like that's people want novice, junior, expert. Well, there's effectively your junior class.
yeah, and the spectator count wasn't terrible. Like I thought I actually walked up top. I never watched on like the top part there, and that was cool, man. Yeah, it wasn't. It's not bad. It's not a bad spectator track if you're up in the stands. Like if you're watching along the fence, like in the pits, that kind of sucks. You can't see anything. But in the bleachers, yeah, I thought the crowd was good. There was a lot of people. I mean, again, the bleachers aren't. It's not a big. It's like a high school, not even a high school football. It's like a middle school football bleacher setup. But no, it was good. Like there were, I think, a decent amount of fans. It seemed like so that was.
Yeah, I meant like more fan. Like I hope more fans will come into your Friday night sessions. Like, and it's
Oh
tricky
yeah, no,
because
I
this
think we
week's
will.
this was
I
a
think we
midweek day race, so it's
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah.
trickier.
Yeah, I think we will at these other events. Like I think Sonoy, Ventura, and Chico, they're all night races for the amateur stuff, and I think I'm hoping we'll have good turnouts there for the amateur races. We'll cater that more to the crowd a little bit at those as well. I knew Daytona would be kind of what it is, more of an amateur back end event, but we're gonna try to tailor our showcases a little bit to the front gate coming up at these other events. So move on
Um,
singles.
Yeah, before we do that, just super quick, just a quick BTR shout out. I've that class is really fun. It's nice to see the new class of riders that's come through, and just how that whole thing comes together, and having them work on the bikes and then bring them to these events. The BTR class, maybe it's not always the best racing, although the heat race on Thursday was pretty spicy. That was a fun race to watch, and yeah, that class I actually do enjoy. I like that having Royal Enfield's involvement and their support of the sport, and having that as a way to get these ladies involved in flat track, and some of them have a pretty accomplished like amateur background. A couple of years ago, Morgan Monroe was part of that, and that was awesome to see her involved in it, and Taya Little the past couple of years.
Yeah, I tried to help them out as well and give them some qualifying rounds at our event. I didn't get a thank you from any of the BTR riders for doing that, but Jen Lewis was grateful that I did it. So yeah, we comped their entries and gave them some extra practice to try to help the program at our event. So it was cool. I didn't get to watch too much of that class on Thursday or Friday because that was always the time when I was running back and telling Briar how bad he was sucking and just I was kidding. But I was running back and trying to help my brother-in-law get to the front. And, yeah, just chasing after my kids too as full-time job, trying to find them, trying to find
Yeah.
crews. Yeah.
Well,
So
and Bobo's he's an escape artist himself too. I like how
yeah,
he did his little Strider race and then started doing cone drills just cause. You're gonna have when he gets on a P dub, you're gonna have a problem, man.
yeah, he's gonna be an absolute problem. After seeing that Strider race, I had a bunch of people come up to me and they're like, "Hey, are you having a third kid? When are you guys having that child? Because we don't want to race that child. Like we want to wait until." No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, he won his Strider race. I forgot to mention that, dude. That was big. That was cool. Yeah, Cruz was really proud of his little brother for winning the winning the Strider race. So, yeah, shout out Bobo for the big win.
Yeah, and real quick, just congrats to Emma Gotch on sweeping the BTR rounds down there in
Yeah, yeah,
Daytona.
it's
So
awesome.
we'll follow that class.
Need to
as it
get
goes
my
on
girl
throughout the year.
Meg, my girl Meg out there next year. She's been patiently waiting to turn 18 so she can apply for it. So maybe I'll be more invested when I got one of the kids I coach out there, Megan Grimel. I think she's going to college to be like a doctor. So I don't know where we're at with her racing career, but I think it'd be cool to get her out. It is a cool program. Like it's cool that some girls have they, if nothing else, they have 2 years of living the dream and doing this and racing and getting the exposure. And it is cool. It's a cool program for them. And I know Royal Enfield is a partner of American. I was like, why do they have that class? It's like, dude, they're a partner of the series, and
The title
they're
sponsor of Daytona. I
yeah, and
mean,
they're supporting the series. So like, we need sponsors like that. If that means adding a class, I mean, if I was a promoter, I'd do that all day. I'll do it if they want to support my series. I'd gladly have them at our events. Yeah, it's a great partnership for American Flat Track. So
and we go back to like me being upset about manufacturers not getting involved. Like you do see manufacturers like Yamaha who have their deal with Estenson, the big tent and the big rig, Royal Enfield title sponsoring events with their what they're bringing with BTR and what Johnny's got with the team with Evan. I mean, that is what gets me excited. And then Turner has a little the help from Honda, and it seems like Harley's starting to kind of get a little more involved. I don't know on how detailed they are. Although I will say, like, sidebar real quick, those Super Hooligans races at the High Banks were fun.
yeah, I didn't watch a lot of those because I was kind of focused in on Bodie and the Twins Cup stuff. I didn't. I heard the announcer like going off about those events, but I just saw some highlights, and yeah, that was some good racing for sure.
So okay, finally now we'll duck into the singles class, which I think a lot of people like for the weekend that Tom had. He gets first and second again, like goes pretty much par for course. He's finished first or second like 13 races in a row in the series. But man, I think a lot of guys made a name for themselves this weekend, or at least put people on notice that they can be a contender, if maybe not for championship necessarily, but we could probably have, we obviously got one new winner, and we might get a few more first time winners this year. And of course we get the reigniting of the Chase and Tom rivalry.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's no secret they don't like each other, and
But they dapped each other up after night one. I was like, wait a minute, are we friends again? And then night two happened.
well, I mean, dude, again, I didn't like people that I raced with, and then when they beat me, I still gave them respect. I think I've said it before, like you got to respect your peers, or it weakens you as a rider. I mean, if you don't, you gotta, I mean, you gotta respect one another. I didn't see that for the first night, but yeah, I mean, uh, yeah. Then the second night we had the little run in there when Tom kind of ran under Chase, pushed him high. I mean, it was aggressive, but I don't
Chase
think that.
admitted he was trying to close the door, and then he sort of like stood it up. He was trying to be defensive, and then Tom just committed to the pass, and Chase went down.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't. That's
Those
racing.
guys race each other hard. They
Well,
race
it's pro racing. You're
hard.
racing for a paycheck. You're racing for a win. I mean, I think that was fine. I mean, there was a lot of controversy with the red flag. I think Chase picked the bike up, which, dude, hats off to Chase Sadoff for picking the bike up and getting back up and joining the race without looking for a red flag. Especially a championship guy, kind of getting taken out. Kind of, again, it wasn't bad, but it was, he could have played it off. And realistically, if he plays it off, falls, Tom could have got sent to the back as well, because that's kind of the consistency of the rules. So Chase, I think people should, Estenson should be fist bumping Chase for getting up and not getting their guy sent to the back, because he could have easily have done that. He got back up, kept going. He didn't ask for a he didn't lay there, and he could have easily have just
Plenty of
possumed
guys.
it.
There's plenty
Yeah,
of guys
Sammy
who
Halbert had done shit like sliding on the ground, get a red flag, and I saw a video of that recently. I'm just giving him shit, but yeah, he could have
there's plenty.
done.
I've seen our buddy Robert Lewis do that before too. So I mean,
Yeah, the old
it's
the old possum on the road, deal. And he got up and kept going, and then was charging through the field, and then he fell again. And I didn't see that. So was he under the bike for a minute? Like, why did they throw the red the second time? Because effectively that changed the whole outlook of the race.
well, when Christy talked to him, he mentioned that his foot had gotten stuck, and I think he was trying to wiggle it free, and he was kind of in a racing line. I think the flag came out as he got himself free because he was getting back up and rejoining, and they'd kind of already like committed to throwing the red flag. So it's
I'd
like
have
the
to
call.
see it to make an opinion on it. I didn't see it. I mean, again, I know a lot of
You
people
didn't
were
see it on
bummed.
TV. You don't see it on TV.
Okay. Yeah, a lot of people were bummed that effectively Jordan Bolak, he suffered from it because he had a little bit of a gap there, and I know people were bummed about that, but man, I just don't. there's no conspiracy. Like people say, oh, they just wanted their right guys to win, and that's not true. I mean, I think AFT, I think they would it would be good for the sport if like somebody not random, he's Dominic Bolak's son, but if somebody new won, I think the series wants that. Like there's
Yeah.
no, it's not, I've never like worked, like being partners with them, like working with them. I've never heard anything that tells me otherwise that there's any sort of conspiracy things going on. Like they want certain people to win. That's just not true. I never got that vibe at all. And I think they make bad calls and bad mistakes. Like maybe that red flag was a bad call, but it wasn't a bad call because they didn't want that kid to win. And he was riding fucking good, bro. I mean, I don't think anybody would have caught him. I don't think they would have passed him. I think they would have maybe caught him. I think Tom was setting up the 66. I think he was still in second at that point. I think Tom would have got by him there soon, and then I think he would have like caught Bolak maybe there right at the end. But I think Bolak is smart enough to move down. You would think, and like because the cushion was starting to go away. But yeah, it sucked for him, and you know at some point these riders got to take accountability. Like when there's a red flag, it sucks. I've been there, but the race ain't over till the checkered comes out. Like you're not gifted, you're not entitled to a win just because you led it before the red flag. I mean, part of racing is navigating lappers and red flags and shit happens, dude. Like you got to navigate it. And I don't know what he did. He kicked it into neutral or something, but that's
Yeah.
on him. I
Yep.
mean,
On
that's
the
on you,
restart.
dude. Yeah, I mean, and I think in his post, like he wasn't whining, which I think he handled it like a pro. I think some of the Canadian fans were bummed out, which I get it. You want your boy to win, but dude, he still had the lead on the restart, and he very well could have got the job done. But yeah, I don't know, he just shit the bed a little bit there. But he's a great rider, man. Like Jordan Bolak he's a really nice kid too, man. I was rooting for him. I'm like, dude, this will be sick. And unfortunately, yeah, racing's hard, and it was bad luck, but that's racing. So it was a kind of a bum deal. And I don't think if that's what you're saying with the red flag, if he's in the racing line and he was there for a minute, I don't think it's a terrible call.
Well, I think it's good. Like, I mean, they might have thrown it early, but I'd rather them throw it early than late because, like, I guess like if you fast forward or you rewind back to the Twins deal, Trent goes down in turns 1 and 2. They don't get the red flag out in time. The white flag comes out, and then okay, well then you have to call the race. So
yeah. No, you can
so
look at
I'd rather it be earlier than later, especially with where it looked. Again, you catch the tail end of it. You catch Chase rejoining the race. It looks like he was in a precarious spot, and I mean, Chase, like you said, he had his chance early on to draw the red flag when it would have been far more beneficial. So I think he was just in a precarious spot, and just the timing of it just worked out. And hats off to Chase to regroup and rejoin the fight. He got himself back up to 6th that night and was able to really, I think, I'll say it, and maybe it's a little aggressive take. Actually, no, it's not. He saved his title because if you DNF Daytona, like against Tom, it just like when Tom DNF Daytona when Kody was in that class, like
yeah,
your championship is in
tough.
serious jeopardy. So
Especially when those guys get top 3 every race, basically. So,
yeah, bummer for JB Smooth though.
yeah, I mean, I think we've gone pretty far, and we haven't shouted out the winner, Braden Fanders.
We're
Bro,
building it up.
crazy.
We had to build it up.
That's crazy. I mean, watching him the first day, and I think in qualifying, he was slapped out. Like he was overriding the bike. I think he crashed in one of the qualifying sessions or something,
I
maybe the
think so.
first or second day. And I'm like, dude, like, calm down. Like, you're a good rider. He just rides with a lot too much intensity sometimes. He just needs to kind of figure that out. And then he rebounded very, very nicely. I think, did he take a provisional the first day? Was that him that took
He
it?
did. He had to take a
Okay.
provisional, and he was able to work his way back up to 8th, which is
Eighth, which is
big,
yeah. I mean, that put
big.
him. He's second in points right now because of that provisional. And then he goes out day 2 and he just figures out a way to win. Like that was crazy.
From the
He
third row.
just
He
sent
was in
it,
the
bro.
third row, and
Yeah,
he was able to, what was it, Lake Ozark last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago.
with
No, I think it
Tom,
might have
when
been with
Tom
Tom.
grabbed that
Was it?
win. Yeah, I was gonna say that's very, very similar to that deal where I think, yeah. Tom got that. So yeah, big win, man. I know he was pumped. He's had a really tough go with injuries and things going on, and I thought he would have gotten a win by now. And I don't know if I said on, did we do a preview show or did I say something where I think Braden would be the first one to get?
both of us have talked about it. It's
I think
coming,
I've
and
called. I think I said the next first time singles winner I thought would be Braden. So, um, yeah,
we
it's
both
sick,
mentioned it.
man.
Also, just
I mentioned it
real
first.
quick, fine, you can have it. You can also looks like your power went out. It's so the contrast in lights in these videos is so drastic.
Oh, it's
It's
getting
so dark
dark
in your room
here.
right now.
Shit. Is that bad? Should I turn the lights on?
Hey,
Not
and
any
we're
better.
back.
Yeah,
it's
it's not
it's
any
fine.
better. Yeah.
It's fine as long as it's not strobing. We'll be okay. Hey, leave that in there. It's a we do it in one take, guys. This is a
I'm
one
not gonna
take
cut
podcast,
it. No,
but
I'm not
yeah,
cutting it.
perfect. Love it. But yeah, so dude, like, yeah, Braden, it's been coming. The kid's he's an unreal talent. He's super fast, like you said. Just have to harness it a little bit. He made the most of the restart, got right back up in their mix, and rode really smart. He was able to keep the bike lower on the track. He did overcook it a little bit in 1 and 2 after taking the lead, but he's got on the throttle, got the power to the ground, got off the corner better, got ahead of Santero and Justin Jones, who, man, I thought Jones was going to steal one on the weekend. Not steal one, but get another one on the weekend. He was up front a lot of the weekend. But back to Fanders, it was really cool. I know this was especially awesome for his family. Gabby was in one of the scariest crashes I've ever seen at one of your races at Hagerstown. Braden was in that horrifying crash at Sonoy last year. And to see them get to take that victory lap together as a family is just, that was, I don't know, that caught me in my feels a little more than I thought it would. But that was really awesome to see Braden break through for that first win and to see how fired up he was. I mean, that's what we love about the sport. We love the emotion. People get upset about people wearing their hearts on their sleeves, and they don't want people to be robotic. But then we show personality, then they call you a crybaby or call you a jerk, depending on what way you take it. But man, I love seeing Braden's emotion. Love seeing that he was able to break through for that win, and that's great for the sport. I think we're going to have potentially six, maybe, probably six winners in the singles class. Maybe seven could get it done, but I mean, Braden broke through, and who's to say?
How
He
many
did
we
good
have
Sonoy
last year?
I think we had. I'd have to look. 5 feels right.
Man, I
Cody,
don't think
Chase,
we have
Tom,
seven.
Cage.
I mean, I guess we're thinking Bruner gets a win, right? Cage.
I would think Bruner and Cage get a win. Tom got his. Chase is going to get
Chase
one.
hasn't got one. Yeah, so that'd be five there. And then, I mean, I was riding the Walker Porter train hard leading into the year, and
Let
he
him
looked.
reset. He'll be
I
fine.
know.
He had he had a
Hey,
devastating first day.
the first day was. I mean that was big. And then the second day, what did he get the second day? He rebounded on the
He
second
was
day.
he was in the top. He was in the top 10.
He's
All right, he
too
might have
good.
got 11th, but
He's too good. He's too good. Like he's riding very good. Like, but again that shows you how tough Daytona is. When
bingo.
they announced he didn't make the cut on the speaker, I'm like, I thought I misheard it. I was like, nah, that's not like today. Maybe they're talking about last year. I don't know. I was shocked. And then somebody's like, man, I can't believe Walker didn't make it. I was like, I mean, he's not the first guy that's hasn't made the cut at Daytona, dude. Like the first top guy. It's happened so many times. But yeah, I mean, he could get a win for sure. I'm still on
I
the
think
Walker Porter train
I
somewhat. I
think he
think
will.
he's still going to be good. I'm trying to think anybody else could get a win in that class. I'm trying to.
Well, Taryn was right up there again. He's just got to
I
like
thought he was going to win. Actually, I thought he was going to win the main event the second day. I thought he was getting good starts. I think he had inside pole. Uh, I don't know, Bodie. Bodie's. I think Bodie could win one if he comes in. He's going to do select rounds. I think he could come in and on a fast Brian Bigelow Honda and be up there on the miles for sure. And Lima. I'm trying to
Lima's
think
going to be
here.
so fun this year.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It's probably going to be scary for you, but it's going to be so fun.
Nah, I mean, just hang on for the ride when it comes to Bodie. That's what anything could happen. Yeah, you mentioned Jones. I mean, expect him to do good at Daytona. I mean, it's kind of these other tracks. What are we going to get from Justin?
How do
But
you
he's
feel
good.
about
He's a
so
great short tracker, dude. He rides hard. I mean, he's a really good short tracker. He's good. I mean, he's a good rider in general, but short tracks, like he's a contender to win. So, yeah, it was big.
that team's fun? It's like what him and Ryder Reese on singles, and then Dalton's their twins rider effectively over there.
I love Ryder Reese. That's my guy. I really want to help him. I mean, I've been helping him off and on for years, but I'd really like to like just spend some time with him and try to help him like level up a little bit mentally and with the training and stuff like that. He's such a cool, nice kid. I really like Ryder Reese. I was really stoked he did so well. He was had a pretty gnarly hand injury he was dealing with all weekend. He cut himself on like a hose clamp really bad, and he was yeah. I think he got 10 or top 10 both days. So that
You
was
know who
good
else
for
got
him.
a top 10 both days? Jack Brooks.
I was just gonna say Jack Brooks looked really good the first day, especially.
E4 up there with those the three guys that I think a lot of people probably feel are going to be the championship contenders. You know,
Yeah, and I
those
didn't
three.
think he'd be as good at Daytona. Like I think he'll be good on these clay tracks. He's a solid clay track rider. So I mean, shit. I mean, he could get on the podium on one of these races for sure. I was really surprised with him. I mean, he won a lot of things as an amateur rider, but I always felt he was a smidge older than like the amateur, or sorry, than the youth kids he raced with. Like youth rider, he always won a bunch of youth championships and things like that. But I wasn't overly impressed as like a youth rider for him. I mean, he's good, but I wasn't like jaw dropping. But then he's had injuries, he's battled back. He's turned into like a really kind of like an efficient rider. Like
Mm-hmm.
he's just very efficient. He does a good job. He gets good starts. He's got good bikes, and he's really actually like kind of as he's impressed me in the last 2 years. I'm hard to impress. But yeah, he's done a really good job, and that fourth place finish was amazing. So I know their family, they've traveled all over the country for years. A lot of these amateur kids, Fanders, man, dude, the one year he was hurt, they were going to all the races just to like hang out. So a lot of these families put in so much time and effort. I see it a lot at my races. They come through the ranks with me, and I see them living in a van, cheap hotels, and then getting to this level and seeing them like get. I don't know what their goals are, or their dreams are, but be there and be successful. I guess that's like the hard work's paying off. It's cool to see all the hard work getting to that point. So yeah.
Props to a couple of guys who have been solid at your amateur events in the past. James Arnaiz, he made a main event the first night, and Aiden Savage made a main event the first night as well.
I was
So
cool. I was pumped
props
for
to those guys.
Aiden. That's cool. Yeah, I became a fan of him just coming to our events last year, supporting our whole series and winning a couple. And it was cool because he doesn't have the shiniest leathers. I don't know what bike he was on. He goes out and puts it in the main event. Was really cool. And Matt
Matt
Beeland.
Beland,
Yeah, I was gonna say
yes.
Matt Beeland was really cool because he's just a big kid, like racing part time, riding barred bike, and goes out and makes the main event at one of the toughest races to make a main event. So that
Dude,
was
his story too, just the
yeah,
journey that he's been on
for
in life
sure.
too, to come back and to make that main event at Daytona. I mean, that's a
It's pretty cool. It's
you
it's
know,
it's amazing actually. That's hats off to him, and it's cool to see so much excitement in making main events again. Like back in the day, dude, when you made a main event at Daytona or Springfield when there was 112 guys, the excitement you saw from guys just making the main was like it was more exciting for them than the guy who won the main event like that night. So to see that excitement back again, where we're trying to make the main and making it and seeing that emotion, that's pretty rad. Like we haven't had that in a while in the sport because there hasn't been a lot of entries. So it's hard to make the main, like harder to make the main than it's been recently, like especially at Daytona.
yeah,
It's been challenging for sure.
yeah, because
Especially,
you
I mean, they
had
went to 16 riders too. Like
yeah,
that changed a lot. 18 to 16 is quite a bit different. I mean, that's percentage wise. What is the difference there? 18 to 16.
one ninth. I mean, whatever
I don't
that
know.
is.
I'm not a geologist. I don't know. But yeah, it was cool to see some of those guys do very, very well. Jared Lowe didn't win. I was surprised. I thought Jared Lowe was just going to sweep the weekend. So I was surprised with that. He went out Main Street the second night and he had his team shirt on.
Attaboy.
I don't know what was going on there. I'm like, brother, you get in trouble down here in Bike Week and you have a mugshot and you got your fucking team shirt on and all your sponsors are on it. You're gonna regret this decision. I was like, he went to the bar with his team shirt on. It's like very Jared Lowe thing to do. I don't know what we're doing.
Man, I felt bad for Sam and I think Ron, maybe they were up until like 3 o'clock in the morning the night before trying to rebuild a motor, just hammering away on that thing.
Oh, for Jared?
Yeah, for a primary
Whatever it
bike.
takes,
Yeah.
man. I'm sure.
I'm still not convinced that Sam Lowe slept. Every time I saw him, he was conscious at all hours of the day. So if he took a nap, good for him, because I don't believe that it actually happened.
Yeah, I got 4 hours of sleep yesterday because I went out with the boys. They just kept saying the last 3 years of bike week haven't been fun for me. Last year I was really sick and then I raced, but I was still really sick, so I like went home, went to bed. And then the year before that, I blew my knee out, so I couldn't go out. I was crutching around, and everyone's like, "You're not." And all week I've been planning to go out with the boys, and then they're like, it comes 10 o'clock at night. I'm just like, dude, they don't go out till like 11. I'm like, I can't do it. I went to bed, and then finally they were just, he ain't coming out. I'm like, you know what? I'm coming out just because you guys are saying I'm not coming out. So I go out and I'm just running around. I'm out. I'm out. I told you guys I'm coming out, and I paid the price for it the next day. I was hurting. Yeah, saw Colby out. That was cool. Got to have a drink or two with Colby and Trent and just all my friends, Johnny, Winkler, Ryan, and it was cool. Shout out Winkler's wife, Jess, for keeping me in check somewhat. I didn't want to get too crazy. She got me water when needed, and so, I don't really drink that much anymore. So it was, yeah. CTex went out Main Street, so that was probably the over under on that. People would have lost a lot of money, but I showed up, so we were out there.
Beautiful. Yeah, yeah. Make us all jealous. It's a good thing that when I got back here to Charlotte, we were able to have a couple of nights out, or I'd
I
be
don't know
sick.
if you get jealous of going to Main Street. I mean,
It's
just the
not that. It's the company you
the
keep.
vibes.
Because
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
because
Agree.
like no, like some of the places like it's just something that like if you experience it with the right people, it's still fun. But like you and I are
Yeah,
in our we're in our prime, but we are in our upper 30s. So
yeah, yeah, dude.
the
It was
hangovers
fun. I'm
hurt.
glad I went. I mean, dude, I'm gonna look back. I've been putting off things like that for years now that I have kids, and I just like to eat healthy, do my training. I just like my routine, sleep, sauna. I mean, dude, I just like to do my thing, and I keep missing out on like those kind of nights. Jermaine event, Jermaine Bocosa. Like I miss. I need to spend time with my friends and like be more loose and have fun. And I just don't. I don't. It's easy for me to say no. Like I just nah, I'm good. I need to start living life a bit more than I am. Just so focused on work and focused on my kids. If it ain't help benefiting my family or benefiting my kids, I don't really do it anymore, or my body or myself. Like I'm so dedicated to trying to help the people I love. I don't really like to go out and do shit that's not benefiting me. So, but I've
Your
realized,
priorities change. I mean, that's just part of how
yeah,
life is. Daytona feels like one of those places though. Like it's just like it's a big reunion for everybody, and there's things that you can go do that are nearby. You know, some of the tracks that we go to in some of these places, like it's not necessarily easy to just go out after the race. Like you almost have to just kind of hang out like in the area and hope that somebody has a cooler in their you know in their hauler, and you know just which is fun, just hanging out in the pits and like throwing back a couple that way. But Daytona offers some places where you can go out and you can cut up a little bit. Did you happen to hear Heron's post 200 interview where he said it's a good thing he won because otherwise he's going to go to jail?
that was crazy. The camera thing, I was watching. I didn't go over to the road race because it's just easier for me just to watch on the computer. I mean, not that I'm not supporting the event. Like I work for the series, so I get a pass, guys. But I yeah, I watched it on my Live Plus and hitting the camera. I felt really bad for that, and then I felt equally as bad for PJ or worse. Like I like Josh. Josh is one of my buddies, I would say. But PJ I've known since he was a kid, and I'm good friends with PJ. So I would have liked to seen PJ get a 200 to win. Like he's such an amazing, deserving rider, and puts so much time in, just bettering the sport. Coaching kids all winter long and supporting other riders and helping Kayla, and he's just really deserving of that win. And I saw him down with a lapper. I'm like, no, the lapper took him out, and tucked the front end by himself, and then the lapper followed and crashed. So, yeah, hats off to Josh Heron. That's a big win, man. He's unreal. He's mentally very, very strong. Like he's very competitive, wants to win, believes in himself, and to get that done. Yeah, I did hear the interview. I would have been pretty pissed too. That is crazy that happened, but it's the 200. It's Daytona. I mean, shit happens. So, yeah, recovered and got his fifth win, tying him with Miguel Duhamel and or Duhamel, however you want to say it, and then Mr. Daytona Scott Russell. So that's it's pretty cool. He wore a replica Scott Russell helmet as well. That was cool. I like Russell. I've gone mountain biking with him in Georgia when I've been up there and spent some time with him, and he's a really cool down to earth guy. So yeah, Miguel wanted paid to come on the show. I've tried to get him on the podcast, so I don't know Miguel, but he wanted me to cut him a check to come on the podcast. But it was cool. Again, the Josh Heron tied them, and yeah, it's good for the sport. Records are made to be broken.
It feels like I mean, it just feels like the racing at Daytona Bike Week is getting like the premier stuff. Like for a while, it felt like Supercross was kind of holding everything together, and now like it feels like there's definitely more excitement around the Moto America aspect of Daytona, and then like seeing everything in flat track starting to bud a little bit too. Like it's nice to see that. It feels like I don't know, it just feels like it's getting healthier. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm biased because I'm just still coming off the high of
Yeah, I
seeing
don't
some of my
know. I mean,
favorite
it's
people, but
okay. Yeah, it's good. Daytona's cool. I mean, it's just first race of the year vibes, really. I mean, I think it could be anywhere. I thought Volusia worked well too. I mean, first race of the year, everybody's just excited to get it going. But yeah, no, I don't know. It was good. What did you have anything else, Scotty? I'm trying to think here. I'm
there's
looking at your
one,
notes.
yeah, there's one other thing. Um, well, actually, a couple other things that probably aren't the most enjoyable to talk about. We need to send our thoughts out to Brady Lang. That was pretty brutal. That whole situation kind of overshadowed some of the stuff from the first night, which is very unfortunate.
Yeah, I didn't know the extent of his injury. That really sucks. I like Brady. He's supported our events before, and I actually me and Janish kind of talked him into doing the singles thing because he was going to try to run the pro sport class, but I think he was too old. I'm like, dude, you're a good enough rider. You could ride the singles class and be competitive. So, hats off to Janish for getting him, kind of helping him get ready, get signed up, helping him on race day. And I don't know what happened during the crash, but obviously there was some controversy with like the way it was handled afterward. And I saw a video. I didn't get any insight on how or why that happened. Um, the guy holding the motorcycle, like holding it, I know who that is. It's one of my guys, and I know. I think from what I heard, he was getting burnt as well. Like his leg was getting burnt, and I think I heard some of the fans were yelling like, "It's burning him! It's burning him!" And I think there was some panic there, maybe with the guy. No excuse for like grabbing him and yanking his leg, but I think there was some panic there with getting burnt. But I don't think they knew the extent of like what the leg injury was. I think he had a broken femur, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a bad, gnarly, really gnarly injury. Yeah, you hate to see it, dude. I mean, again, I don't know what my opinion is because I don't know all the facts on it or what happened or what was going on. I'd have to read a report or something, but um, yeah, I mean, crazy, crazy. The way it was handled is crazy for sure. Just grabbing. I mean, yeah, again. I don't know what was said in the thing. Like,
And yeah, I
surely
mean, I wasn't there either. I'm going off of just the video and what you
I
see
don't even know who
on
the
the
other guy
broadcast side.
was. I have no idea if who he worked for, or what was. I have no idea. I know there were some complaints with the Daytona medics. A couple different people, just from what I've seen on Facebook, there were some complaints, and which is kind of crazy. You would think the World Center of Racing, they'd be on the ball, which I've always felt like they were. Nothing over the years tells me otherwise. So I don't have dude. I'll speak opinions on anything if I know what I'm speaking on, but I don't. I'm just not privy again to that information. So I saw what everybody else saw online, and with something that's serious, like I just don't like to speculate on
Yeah,
what happened. But I mean, just big get well wishes to him. Sucks, man, because yeah, he's just a good young rider. His first attempt at a pro race, and then you get that injured. I mean, that's. I hope it doesn't deter him if he wants to come back and do it again. He's a great rider. He's been racing his whole life, and he's more than capable of being successful in that class. So I hope Hope he heals up. It's nothing too crazy, and we can see him at, maybe later in the year, or at least in the near future, like back out there trying again.
Yeah, I don't know. That feels like a pretty lengthy recovery time. If anything, it might just be like a
Sorry for my
race
dogs,
up.
bro.
Bro, you're
I don't have
fine.
a studio. Yo, calm down. Kody, no. Dogs for sale. Anybody want two dogs?
Yeah.
Kody, come. Sorry, what were you saying?
I don't even remember. Oh well, the other thing, we still can't get live points on triple challenge night.
No way, dude. I told them multiple times, like that's the biggest downfall of these. I don't know why we had a triple challenge. I think I'm becoming not a fan of it. I was open minded and I thought it could have been cool, but I don't think it needs to be a thing. Uh I think the standard, bro, my dog is stupid. I think what we had, the standard part of it is fine. So I don't know why. I don't know. But if we're gonna do it, like you gotta be able to see the points and where what everybody needs to finish. Nobody knows. It's like,
Yeah,
even the riders, they're up at the track. They're like, yeah, I think if I do this, I'll get this. Like nobody knows. It's like you just do the best you can. It's like there's no strategy because nobody knows what kind of strategy you need to play. So
maybe that's the point. Maybe that's the point is to keep it
yeah,
chaotic. But yeah, I mean, it hurts the storylines and the scenarios going into that. But yeah, still still a work in progress. But the next one's not till June, so maybe that'll work itself out.
maybe we get it sorted out there.
Yeah. How you still got Bodie and Jake with you through Sonoy?
Yeah, well, for a while, mainly for the rest of the year, off and on. I mean, they got to go to Qatar for an Asia Talent Cup race. But we'll do Sonoy. Jake will do Sonoy on the Pro Sport class again. He rode very subpar. I mean, sixth place for him is not at all where he needs to be. He doesn't come over here from Australia, train as hard as he does to go out and get sixth in the support class. We were not happy with that result. So he'll go do Sonoy. He better do better there, or he will be finding somewhere else to stay. I'm just kidding. But now they are here. Benny just left a couple hours ago, and yeah, we're gonna go. We're actually to go do some road race practice tomorrow, and back on the grind. Back to PAX on Tuesday. Cruz has some things he needs to work on. He's riding the bike very very well right now. I'm very happy with how he's riding, but it's like some racecraft stuff. I felt like at Throwdown too, he did similar things where he's the fastest kid on the track, but he's been making these mistakes where, like, you watch him on a Cobra 50 from like 2 years ago, and he went through the lappers so good. I mean, he barely slowed down, and he's like, yeah, making big mistakes. So hopefully we can get those ironed out. And yes, Bodie and Jake are here. I don't know where they're at. I think I told him. Oh, they're. I just checked Amber's location. She's in Port Orange, which is 40 minutes away. So
With the other half of the family?
yeah, they're at Shane and Briar's right now. I see. So maybe that's where everybody is. Ian Riley texted me, and he sent me a picture of him with an adventure tracker bike, and he said, I've made a lot of bad decisions in my life, but adventure trackers will never be one of them. So,
So he's
I
not
love
going to be competing in Sonoy. Okay.
I love Ian. He's so funny.
He's the man. He actually they were asking about me going in the booth on your event. I think I ran away from it, so they took.
Bro, you should have.
They took Bodie in there.
Oh,
Which,
Bodie was in there. Oh, that's right. He did tell
yeah,
me that. Yeah. Did you listen to me in the booth? It's pretty good, right?
yeah. I was right by a speaker for that when you were in you and Dubler were calling it. Took me back to what was it Next Moto Champion Flat Track Weekly Radio from 2012 or something like that.
The
Around that time frame.
the OG,
The OG Flat Track show.
Flat Track Weekly Radio. Yeah, it was crazy. I had fun. I'd never been in the booth, so that was cool. I uh, I didn't know they called the Trans Alp a Hornet now.
Yeah.
Why?
Nah, that's
Why are we changing?
that's a Mike Turner question.
Why are we changing the names of?
Question.
Yamaha did that to me too. I think I said it on the broadcast, but I was always riding an FZ07, and then the next year it was an MT07. I'm like, it's the same bike. Like I rode this last year as an FZ07. Like, why are we changing the name? So
Because you can sell it.
the Honda Hornet, baby, she'll sting you. She stung him that first
Yeah.
night or second night, whatever it was. But
Yeah,
yeah,
Trent's had Man, he's had rotten luck at Daytona. He's
Yeah,
been
he just had
like he's
rotten luck
been
at a lot of places, dude, to be
yeah, fair
honest.
enough. Yeah, well, it feels like Daytona especially. He's gotten DQ'd. He's gotten put in the air fence. He's has his bike catch
Yeah,
on fire. So I guess one of these years he's just gonna sweep it.
he could. He's a good enough rider.
Well, I don't
Uh,
know. If Cody's in the class for 15, 20 years, that might be tough.
yeah, yeah, and then there'll be a new kid come up, right? I mean, there's always somebody new coming up. It never gets easier. It's the challenges are always there. And then sometimes the new kids are good, and then they like taper down a little bit. Like you see that roller coaster with different riders, and there's so many young kids coming up now. I mean, you're only 6 years away from seeing like Joiners, Nickens, all those riders in that class, which is crazy. It goes by so quick. I tell crews all the time, like, dude, one day you're gonna be racing Bodie. I mean, unless they're overseas or we're in cruises or wherever we're in different championships, but you very well could have to race. You might race Briar. I mean, Cruz could race Briar. I mean, when he's 16, Briar will be my age that I am now. That very well could happen. So
Man,
it's
imagine
crazy.
Briar and Cruz first round of King of the Throwdown.
It's crazy, right? It's absolutely insane, and it's a very realistic possibility. I mean, Cruz and Briar would be a stretch, but like Cruz versus Renshaw, Cruz versus Bodie. I
There
mean,
you go.
some of those matchups could be crazy. We should do a podcast where we do like potential 2032 1v1 matchups, what that would look like. Um, I just want to get Cruz on an 85, man. I'm just waiting for that. I trying to get him on an 85 so we can get some more kids to race with. It just seems like every time he starts to get comfortable on the bike, being the young kid in class, all the big kids move up, and then he's still in the class. So I just want him to be. I don't want to rush life, but I want him to be 9 so he can ride an 85 with those kids. His best lap time at Daytona, dude, would have put him second in the 85 class, which lap times don't pay shit. I'm not a lap time guy at all, but I thought that was interesting that you could take. I mean, he was on a stock 65 too. We rode a stock bike, and just to go out and just have that speed is these kids are good. I mean, it's crazy how fast these kids are going. These Strider kids, like they started on Striders, went to a Stasic. Like all these kids they've been riding. It seems like Cruz is like a 20-year veteran because he started racing when he was 2 years old. I mean, yeah, it's crazy. So it's been cool to see. Really good first showcase round. Overall in Daytona, it was a good weekend, good kickoff to the series. I'm starting to see some more positive things. There's still those same 5 or 6 negative people, but trying to see some positives, trying to grow the sport. There are some things that AFT can do better for sure. I know they're working on it. I hope moving forward we can, yeah, just keep plugging away, trying to be successful, grow the sport, provide opportunities for these kids coming up.
And people just
Appreciate,
they need to go to these events. They just need to be at these events and support it because when you're there, there's nothing
yeah,
like it. It is one of the most truly like I can't even describe like properly. I can't articulate it properly how much it means to be at these races. I mean, it's so wild. And I don't know if I said this earlier in the show or if we've said it in the past or whatnot. But I keep holding on to this like really cool experience of that. My dad was filming John Nickens growing up, and now I'm filming John's kids as they grow up, and this whole full circle moment. And like that family feels like family. Your family now feels like family. Like the Turner camp, like Nick Henderson and his wife, and all that they've done for me. The Unsettled Racing crew, like all that they do, like these families and all the like getting to meet all the Australian families, like I said, like getting to talk to them and just hear about how much they love flat track racing and just getting to be around people in the pits who go to these races and you get so much. It's just so life giving being there, and you see like a lot of really great things when you're actually at the track. And this people need to stop trying to accountability, yes, 1000% accountability. I am here for that, and people checking each other on things like that. But to just like don't freaking wish for the sport to die and to give up on it. Like go to these races, support this stuff, and be there, and you'll have a completely different opinion on things. Yes,
I'm just tired of the shit on
but
social media, bro. Like, if you
well,
have
it's
a
not
problem
real.
with somebody, call them. Or yeah, it's like it's a fucking alternate timeline or something. Like, dude, if there's a problem or you have something to say, I say it in my riders meetings now. I'm like, dude, come find me. Like, if there's a problem, come find me. I'm sure we can make it right. And like going on social, like not saying anything to me or, any problem, like going on social media, like, okay, like if that's what you want to do, I have a
It's
big
everybody's
follow.
default. It's
Well, I
everybody's
mean,
default.
I could address a lot of things on social media if I wanted. I have a big following on my pages, but it's just not professional to do that. Nothing gets done that way. I mean, when have you ever seen an argument on social media like end with a handshake sort of thing? Oh, you know what? You're right. Never, bro, like never. So, sure, if you're mad, I mean, you're entitled to say what you want, but again, like it doesn't get handled that way and it just gets hectic. Like, just pick up the phone and figure stuff out. I miss so much the days before we had it, man. Life was amazing. It's like, I don't know,
It's
right?
it
It was
is
so
quite
good.
nice for me. I and people have asked like, dude, how can you have that flat track channel and not have Facebook? Because you're gonna miss out on so much. Like, I'm happier. I'm
Yeah.
not seeing that stuff. Like, I'll stick with YouTube and Instagram and be just fine. I don't need X. I don't need
Yeah.
Facebook. It's, you know, I
Oh,
just
I like X.
it's
I get a
fine.
lot of news from X. There's so many like quick little headlines with like racing or anything like sports. Um, the
It's a
new
great
like
spot for that.
yeah, like where I can just yeah, like UFC stuff, college wrestling, like Pokemon, like there's so much like stuff I get on X. So I was like an original Twitter guy. Like I've had Twitter fucking forever, dude. So I've always liked Twitter. But no, I mean I've gotten better at like some people you're never gonna make happy, dude. Like as you could sit down and explain everything to them, give them $1 million, and they're still gonna not be happy with you. So I just take it. I've been taking it with a grain of salt. But yeah, everything's been going well. The event was good. I'm excited for Sonoy. I'm sure we'll do I'm gonna do some interview pods. I don't know who I'm gonna get. I do want to get Walker Porter on. So maybe I'll hit him up and try to get Walker on the pod. It's probably not a great time. He's had a tough Daytona, but maybe it's a good time. Maybe we'll get him on, talk about his winter training and stuff. And there are some legends of the sport I would like to bring back on and revisit some of the early Tank Slappin episodes that we've done, just to check in. I'd like to get my buddy Pat Maroney back on. There's just a lot of people that were really fun interviews that we haven't done in 4 years, 5 years. So would like to kind of circle back and do those. And then of course these check-in shows, these rewinds with you. So always been fun doing these as well. So um, shout out
Try
to
to keep it light
everybody.
around here.
What's that?
Try to keep it light around here.
Yeah, shout out to everybody that subscribes and is supporting the YouTube channel. I did have a lot of compliments on that at the race, so appreciate all of that. Um, is there
You
anything else
selling
that
those
they?
underrated hats?
No, I forget who got me this. Megan Neal, Meg Neal. I call her Meg Bell still, but Meg Neal, from OTB. She, I don't know if she still does hat printing, but she made this for me. Uh, no, I don't do merch, dude. Not that much anymore. I did it at Throwdown. I think I still have some shirts left over from Throwdown, but I'm not doing merch for these showcase rounds, and I'm not a merch. Merch is so annoying just to try to sell and bring, and everybody wants shirts for free, and yeah. Amber's
Hey,
calling
Cory.
me. Hold on. Hello? What's that?
Are you doing the
No, I'm still doing a podcast. I'm not done yet.
actually?
Correct. Yeah, I'm here. I'm still doing it. You're on the podcast.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, well, Howard said that someone's at our motorhome. So if it's not you, then there's a problem.
Oh shit. Okay.
Well, that's a wrap.
All right. All right. Well, I better go see who's in my motorhome, Scotty. That's a wrap
Yep.
on this one. Until next
Operation.
time. Until
We
next
out.
time. We out.